How are you? Hi, Michael. There I
I,
go. I can see. Oh, you're
I
looking
am
ravishing in
wonderful. It
your
is
pink.
wonderful to see you. Thank you so much for taking the time. We couldn't get you the other day, but we got you today.
I know. I'm so sorry. Do you know what? I was actually marrying someone, a very close friend of mine, as a celebrant at their wedding, and I thought, could you imagine not only cancelling, saying, "Oh, I can't come to your wedding," but also being the person marrying them? I was like, I can't cancel that. But
No,
it's
that's
just the way the dates
totally
fell. So I'm
fine.
really glad you could make it today. Thank
I
you.
am too. I am too. Hey, thank you for being on Drag Race UK. I mean, come on. This has been a long time coming, and I think that the fans are thrilled. But how does it feel for you?
Oh, can you believe it? Can you believe I actually
Yeah.
said yes? I took that leap. I put that audition tape in. Do you know, I used to say it would be something I would never do. I was always
Mhm.
quite vocal about, no, I'll never do Drag Race. But I got to the stage where it was getting bigger and bigger. And you can't deny that the queens that have done the show have had some amazing opportunities off the back of it. And I was like, look, I don't want to be an old woman thinking, what would have happened if I did that show? What would have
Right.
happened? So I was
That's
like,
right.
I wanted to have no regrets. So I took the leap and I did it. And I'm so, so glad I did.
And I love it. But the fans got to fall in love with you, Queen of the Universe, and now you're doing this. So, how do the experiences even compare?
Do you know, I don't think I would have done Drag Race if it wasn't for the experience of Queen of the Universe, because it sort of gave me a little
Okay.
taster of, Michelle Visage critiquing and working with World of Wonder and all that stuff. Um, and I mean, this did feel like the big show compared to Queen of the Universe, even though Queen of the Universe was big.
Sure.
It's just Drag Race, isn't it? It's known around the world. So to walk in that workroom and to walk that runway was an experience I wasn't prepared for. They put me through the ringer on this show. I mean, the things they make you do, you cannot prepare enough for this show. And I just had to, roll with the punches and just keep my head down and get through it, because I thought, I'm older than the rest of them. I could go home week one. I could go home on the last week. How well I do, you'll have to find out. But it certainly wasn't easy. My
I'm
goodness.
sure. What I think is great about Drag Race UK is that they always seem to cast people like yourself that are such established talents with their own careers, Cheddar Gorgeous, Danny Beard, yourself. And I think that's so great because the fans get to see someone that is comfortable in front of the camera and really has an established career and an established fan base. But conversely, for you as the competitor, it puts an immediate target on your back for the other girls. So
Yeah.
did you feel that way when you walked in and they all saw you? They obviously knew exactly who you were. Did you say, okay, this is going to be tough?
Yeah. And I think they let me know that they weren't going to let me have an easy ride with it. I think that was quite key. You might have been around the block, but just don't think you know it all. And there
Yeah.
wasn't one moment. There was the odd little bit of oh, can I ask you about this, ask you about that? But they didn't lean on me. They didn't let me feel older and wiser at any point. They let me know, you've got to keep up with us. And they're all absolute kids, some of
I
these.
know.
I mean, I was literally thinking, oh my God, you know, it was, it's such a strange thing to explain, because you go in there and experience, it does help you on that show, but it also has nothing to do with that show, because the challenges are so unique, and the runways are all about, what you're wearing and how you look. And
Yeah.
it's the confidence, I think, that pulled me through from doing reality TV show before. I was used to the filming setup, so that was nice.
Right, right, right. I interviewed you for the Huffington Post years ago, and Drag Race was still in its infancy, and drag has just changed so much. Looking back on the years of Drag Race comparable to your career, can you believe that drag has come this far?
No. And and of course, some people it's been around all their lives. They've not
Right.
known life without Drag Race.
That's an
And of course,
excellent point. Yes.
yeah, and they you think, oh, it won't last, and you're like, oh, it's been around all my life. I'm like, oh wow, that makes me feel really old. But I think it's amazing. We have these windows, don't we, where it becomes really popular, and this resurgence. And I just think it's wonderful how this resurgence had so much longevity, and they're doing so many amazing shows all around the world, and Broadway and West End and theatre shows and TV shows. I just think it's so inspiring for someone like me, who it was very much the pubs and the clubs. It was before the internet, it was before social media, and we didn't get the opportunities they're getting now. And I'm not going to let them get all the fabulous opportunities and not do that show. I thought,
I
sod this, I'm doing it.
agree.
Yeah.
Everybody move over. I got to get my own piece of
Yeah.
the pie. I
Yeah,
agree.
exactly.
I agree totally. You know, I think one thing about Drag Race is everybody says, well, I'm going to do this after Drag Race and I'm going to do that. I don't know if there are any answers I've gotten from hundreds of queens that you already haven't done. You've done all of it. I was
Well,
thinking,
maybe I'll just retire. Maybe this is my
right,
swan song, and that's
that
it.
would be
Good
the
night.
best answer. If you said, what are you going to do next? I'm done. I'm finished.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. We'll just, yeah, I'll just do one gig with 3 extra zeros on the end, and then I'll retire. Perfect.
That's it. There you go. It's like those videos of RuPaul performing in the clubs after Drag Race that people like strive to find on the internet. You know, that'll be you. We'll just do that one gig every once in a blue moon. That would be great. That would be
I'll be like
great.
Barbara Streisand, just wheel me out every 20 years, and that'll be fine.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. You know, looking back on the Drag Race experience, I think that you've done all of these other reality shows, but I think this one was probably going to be the most challenging because it holds, I guess, everything that is every facet of your career you had to do during Drag Race. So is there anything that you went in saying, okay, this is going to be my strong suit?
Yeah, anything to do with the performance side of it. So the comedy, any acting. Not dancing though. I am not a dancer. So if there was ever a week when they said, and the choreographer is, I was like, oh God. Just that the word choreographer is a trigger for me.
Right.
Never
Got
good.
it.
And also sewing, I do not make my own costumes. And so many people get
Really?
surprised about that. But I like that just wasn't a thing when I was young. I mean, I suppose I did when I look back at the clubs and pubs, but it was very much glue gunning and, you know, very basic stuff. I would never now dream of stepping onto a stage on my tour with a dress I've made. So the
Right.
making side of it and that behind the scenes creative stuff, I have people that do that. Gonna call my people.
That's right. Your staff. That's
You can
right.
call my staff. She'll make it for you.
That's right. I think that Drag Race is this part of Drag Race right now, the press side, right before it premieres. It's like senior week. It's the best part of it. But I'll finish with this because I think this is going to be an interesting question. You've done, God, close to 100 cruises, and you're known on the cruise circuit, and you've worked with so many different people. If there was a La Voix cruise, what would be like, I know, one or two things that they have to be essential to go to on that cruise?
Oh my gosh. Well, there would have to be some sort of dinner theatre experience. I love those old cabaret clubs, the lamps on the tables. You had your meal, a singer, a good old sing-along piano bar night has to be there with the show tunes. I'd want some big name that no one ever thought would come back. I want Liza Minnelli as my headliner in the theatre. I want Cher to rock up and do a prize draw for a meat raffle or something. Anything.
I would
And
love
the
that.
whole thing needs to be driven by Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet as the captains from Titanic, and then everyone will be very nervous.
I love it.
Perfect.
Now that's next after Drag Race, the La Voix cruise.
The La Cruise, yes.
Love it.
How will I deal with all that semen? Who knows?
I love it. We'll figure it out. My love, thank you for taking the time. This was such a treat. I can't wait to watch you on the show.
Thank you, my darling. Enjoy it, and I'll see you soon. I hope.
Wonderful things.